What's up, YouTube? It's Saiyan here. I got a mail update for you cats. Today's mail day, and we got some sweet, sweet cards here. I've opened it just to see if everything is in there, but just gonna do a quick review of what's inside this bad boy. Hope you like it. So, I managed to contact a good fellow in the States. He said some listings on eBay, and I started asking questions as I do to find out if he's got more of this stuff. So we have a little package of Dragon Ball CCG cards in here just to update the collection and help me with additional deck building and stuff. So we managed to get our hands on 1, 2, 3 UFO landings and a foil UFO landing. Pretty sweet. It's my first foil UFO landings. This is gonna look great in the collection. And just generally having UFO landings, it seems to be quite a difficult task to find some of these bad boys. It's not that they're particularly rare. In fact, they're uncommon in the set. The one dot there means they're uncommon. If you have no dots, it means it's common. One dot there means it's uncommon. 2 dots means it's rare. And of course 3 dots, it will mean it's super rare. And if the dot is red, it means it's a starter deck exclusive. So now you know that as well. So we got 4 UFO landings, really sweet. It really helps me to expand with building some of my decks, as it is a sought after card, definitely in my opinion. It works really well in any of the decks where you specifically run a certain type of character type, i.e. if you run Ginyu Force or Saiyans or anything that is more than male or female characteristics. So even a human deck, if you run blue, you can run this card in it, and you get to draw an additional card at the end of your turn if you have 3 or more warriors with the same characteristics. There is neither male or female. So it is definitely one of the best draw engines in the game. I would highly recommend running it if you can. And I have managed to get another 4 copies. Sweet. Moving on. We have a few cards in here. So we got an Android 14. This guy seems to be like almost unattainable. This is actually my first copy of Android 14, and I'm still looking for an additional one for a new deck that I'm gonna introduce to you guys soon. But we got Android 14 here. It is a really good card in terms of allowing you to have an additional warrior deployed in your turn if it's Android 15. Now, what Bandai has done, unfortunately, they mixed the names up, so he's actually Android 15, and Android 15 is the card which should be Android 14. So they mixed up the 2 names, but hey ho, it is what it is. Anyway, Android 14 is a pretty sweet card, really good attacking lead warrior stats, even if damaged. Even if injured, he's got decent stats, and like I said, he allows you to drop another Android 15 in your team. Android 15 has ally Android 14, so effectively doesn't count into the 3 warriors in the team as long as it's paired up with Android 14. So really sweet card. Moving on, we have 2 copies of 18 here. As I stated in the SSJ3 Goku deck review, 18 is probably one of the best support warriors. She has backup. She can prevent any effect from your opponent's warrior's effect to this warrior's team, which is pretty good. And also, if you move her to the bottom of your planet, then she can negate a technique. So again, one of those cards which I really struggled for a while to get my hands on. Now I have 4 copies of 18. I had 2. Now I have another additional 2. And I would highly recommend running her if you run an Earth build or any build where you can slot her in. She has absolutely amazing stats. She's a turn 6 drop for 1 Earth G. So you might have to jump through some small hoops to get her into play, being an Earth, not such a popular color. But look at her stats: 5'4", 5'2", amazing injured stats, and obviously for a turn 6 drop, you would imagine something like this as well. But being a 5'4", she's a really good support warrior, and especially with all these valid action effects, she's outstanding. Definitely one of the best uh, negate cards in the game as well. Albeit being a turn 6 drop, she's still very solid. You know, you get a counter on a stick effectively. Right, then what do we have here? We have a copy of Continuous Die Missile. She is definitely one of the best super pump techniques that is out there. You know, if you don't count, you know, Kamehameha, obviously those are more like damage techniques than pump techniques. So you get Continuous Die Missile, giving your attacker, so you have to be an attacker. In the strategy phase, you can give target user +5/+0, and the user cannot use any more techniques until the end of turn. Well, so it's got some drawbacks, but it's still a turn 3 drop for 3 chi, two of them being any color. And this is definitely one of the best printed pump techniques. Giving +5/+0 is pretty solid for turn 3, especially. Even if you take the hit on it, you only being able to use it when you're attacking in your strategy phase. So sort of your opponent is going to be expecting it to come, but still I think +5/+0 is pretty strong. So this is my second copy, by the way. So if for nothing else, then you know, addition to the collection, getting the collection complete. Now, what we have here, we got a Chibi Goku, and it is a slight misprint. It is just ever so slightly misaligned. I don't know if that comes through. I think it does come through the picture as well. But I think it just adds to the value of this card. Obviously, the first set seen quite a few misprints like this, but I'm just happy to have my second copy of Chibi Goku. So you know, happy days. And then we got the infamous Tool Trunks. Not the best Trunks ever printed, but the fact that if he's got a Dragon Ball, he can use a Tool Technique card and draws you a card at the end of your turn is a very sweet ability, especially if you have a tool build. So he goes really well. He's your backup Dr. Wheelo, I suppose. Obviously, Wheelo being better, splashable as well to any color decks. Trunks is your backup Wheelo if you like it, because he needs the Dragon Ball. He doesn't have any additional abilities, but he still draws you a card if he uses a technique. So I think it's still pretty sweet. And of course, this is a foil as well, and it's a rare. So it's a foil rare. Nice little card. Again, it's one of those cards which isn't that easy to come by. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We got a Chibi Krillin. This completes my collection of Chibis. Now I have one copy of each. I was only missing the little ball guy here. It's just a nice little trip down memory lane, I suppose. Seeing him, remembering his fight with Goku in the first tournament, it's really funny. Back in Dragon Ball. So there you go, Chibi Krillin. Then we got, in my opinion, one of the best Goku printed. It's the GT Super Saiyan Goku. You don't have to discard. You don't have to basically have a Goku in play, unlike the regular GT Goku. You have to basically have a turn 3 or less Goku in play, I think, or turn 5 or less Goku in play, and you can exchange that for that. Whereas with the Super Saiyan Goku, all by being a turn 6 drop, you don't have to sacrifice any Goku in play to be able to bring it down. And he's got Super Heal, and he's got Hermit Style, and he's got the Saiyan trait, and I think one of the best abilities that he has is that you can discard a Goku warrior from your hand and you can heal this warrior. meaning obviously him having super heal, he can actually form a really sweet Goku deck. Um, all the excess Gokus that you might end up having in your hand, you don't have to have additional space for your uh, what you might think, Senzu beans, for example, and I think he slots in really nicely to a power and pain deck. So the reason why I have two copies here is that this completes my collection of three GT Super Saiyan Gokus, and I'm probably gonna build a deck around him. So stay tuned, guys, because you're gonna definitely have it coming sooner or later. I'll be reviewing my Pain and Power deck, or maybe just the Goku deck in general. I don't know yet, but it's definitely in the works for now. So I've got two copies here, which completes my collection of GT Super Saiyan Gokus. Then we got a Kamehameha here, the really sweet one from Set 5. Um, if you don't know what Kamehameha does, basically a Hermit style or a Super Symbol plus Saiyan can give 1 damage to target warrior with a turn cost equal to the user's, and it's got the Expert Goku ability. If Goku uses it, it gives out an additional damage. It's a beam destruction, and it's got a turn cost of 1. It costs you 3 chi, but it's definitely one of the best damage techniques out there. And I just always like to get more of these Kamehamehas because they're really, really, really sound cards. And then for my personal collection, a starter deck Krillin. It's just something about this card that I really love. Time and time on in videos, I constantly emphasize the fact that I still think it's even in the Set 5 era, it's a good card. Obviously, it was outpowered or probably made a little bit redundant when Zangia came out. Zangia has very similar abilities and some more, but still for a starter deck exclusive, I think the Krillin is really sweet, and the artwork on it is quite awesome as well. I just like how it goes out of bounds with his energy technique there, and it just is really sweet, and it's an exclusive to the starter, so just one of those things. Now, the cream de la cream. I have 3 more Hellflash. So I have 6 copies of Hellflash now. Reason being is that I just absolutely love this card. I think it's a really, really good card in your Android build. And as you might have guessed from the Android 14 previously, I have an Android deck in the works. And I just wanted to have 3 more Hellflash. It seemed like a good offer, so I went for it. So I got 6 copies of Hellflash. You never know, you might need some more. If you don't know what Hellflash does, basically it's a villain. It requires an Android warrior to use it with a Dragon Ball. It's a turn 4 drop for 2 villain and any color chi, and it target warrior gets -5/-5 until the end of turn. So you remember when I was talking about the continuous die missile giving +5/+0? This bad boy gives out -5/-5, so you can use it on your opposing team's main warrior to give a -5, or any of the support warriors to give a -5. So it's really flexible in terms of that, and of course slots in really well to any Android build. So yeah, 3 copies of Hellflash. Then what else we got here? We got a Super Dragon Fist. I only had 1 copy, so this is mainly for the collection. But if I end up building a Goku deck, it combos really well with the GT Super Saiyan Goku, and so does the Kamehameha. So you can have a really neat little deck around Goku, especially if you splash in a couple of alternate futures, so you can actually have more than 1 Goku in play, but you would definitely make it Hermit style, so anybody could use the Kamehameha, and then maybe include 2 copies of the Super Dragon Fist, just like a finisher, because you have to have a Goku with a printed turn cost of 5 or more. Obviously, the GT Super Saiyan Goku is good for that, because he's a turn 6, and in your action phase, this effect cannot be negated, move target user into move target user into any of your teams in any position, so you can move Goku around. And it gives 2 damage to an opposing warrior, so completely annihilates it, sends it to chi straight away, whatever it is with the card. A warrior that is discarded due to this damage is removed from the game. Any damage given by this effect cannot be reduced, meaning that toughness doesn't apply when you use Super Dragon Fist. So you can quite easily get around the toughness ability if you use Super Dragon Fist. The artwork is really cool. Obviously, it is an epic moment in Dragon Ball Z. It's just an overall good card, and I always wanted to have a deck that actually is capable of running a couple of these, but you obviously need Goku for it. So yeah, that gives me 2 copies of Super Dragon Fist, and I might just try it out. Maybe some turn cost acceleration with uh, that rare that gives you an additional turn counter. Can't remember its name, but it's got Gohan in Super Saiyan on it. Gosh, I can't remember its name right now. So yeah, it could do like a really really neat little Goku deck. The basis of a really neat little Goku deck. And then we got a copy of Patera Fusion. I got 2 copies of this bad boy. I just wanted the third one to complete the super rare playset for myself. And for years and years, this card was looked down at. Just it really didn't have any good use for it until strategy session was dropped in set 5. Obviously, this being a set 4 card, everybody deemed it absolutely useless. And then strategy session was dropped, which allows you to search for it, being a tool technique, and give it -2 turn cost. So you can play it in turn 5. If you got 2 strategy sessions, you can play it in turn 3. And if you can use it with Vegito, so you remove Vegito and Goku from your deck, put Vegito into play. Vegito cannot be affected by uh, 6 turn cost or less techniques. Obviously, this being a turn 7 cost, because strategy session just gives -2 turn cost to tool techniques in your hand. So once you play this and it's in your chi area, it will get back its 7 turn cost. So Vegito won't be affected by this anymore. So it's an absolutely amazing combo. I'm gonna also show off a deck on this in the near future, so stay tuned for that as well. I suppose this is kind of like a prologue to some of the decks that you're gonna see featured in the channel soon. Being an Android deck in the making, being a Goku slash Super Heal slash Saiyan deck in the making, and having a Android deck in the making as well. So there's more deck profiles to come. So do not worry. And of course, last but not least, we have a Destructive Fury Super Saiyan Trunks, Future Trunks. Probably one of the best Trunks ever printed. Reason being is that if his team wins an outstanding victory, you get to look at 6 of your planet damage, and you also get to select one of them and move it to your discard area. So absolutely amazing. First of all, there is only a couple of technique cards that allows you to look at cards in your planet damage. I think there's only 1, maybe 2, and they're very expensive. And they're only techniques, so it's a one-time use. Whereas Trunks, obviously being a warrior, turn 6 drop for 2 super energies, being a Super Saiyan, having Super Heal. Oh yeah, you need to get an outstanding victory, but I think with a 7-3, it's not necessarily going to be different to get an outstanding victory, especially if you use some, I don't know, you might use because he can use the set 5 Kamehameha, he can use the continuous Die Missile, he can use a powerful heritage, all sorts of really powerful techniques he can use. Get an outstanding victory. Look at your planet damage, 6 cards of your planet damage, which, let's be honest, if even if you have like 8 or 9 and you're close to losing, being able to look at a maximum of 6 of them is pretty amazing. And you actually get to discard 1 planet damage. There is no other warrior that does that. So Trunks being a really, really epic card from that point of view. And of course, his artwork is really sweet as well. So so yeah, that's it for Mail Day. I wanted to keep this short and sweet, but apparently I just can't seem to be able to shut up. So apologies for that. It's another 20-minute video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you subscribe if you like these videos. Share, like, leave a comment. I will always answer. So yeah, this is it for Mail Day. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Peace out, YouTube. Bust saying out.